do you stand by your reporting even though Doria happens to be in that pool?
Absolutely. I think I was being quite nice, really. Her mother's tried very hard to help her. I felt very sorry for her because it was very hard. When Meghan probably lost her temper or said something that she didn't like, that was the end of it, and she was going home and not coming back. This is what Meghan does. People help her a lot, whenever it is, and then she just gets fed up with them.
We know you're watching, Meghan. We know you're watching Doria. And you've just been exposed for telling lies yet again about the fact that you never know what's going on social media. You never know what's being written about you, because it's no coincidence that just hours after Angela Levin and I broadcast exclusive information about the secret war between mother and daughter, that Meghan produced a video showing Doria Ragland in her pool with the child who she claims no one is ever allowed to see. So, Meghan, we know what you're doing, but we also know that our reporting is accurate. And the fact that you are clapping back in this way doesn't change a thing. So before we get Angela Levin's response, let me just take you through the timeline. So this was Angela Levin's tweet last Sunday, where she posted Meghan Markle's secret war with mother Doria Ragland after Netflix dig, talking with Dan Wootton about how Meghan can't even work with her mother. Then within hours, the video came, resting dollface explaining Meghan just clapped back with an Instagram story or two. Someone is planting these headlines in the tabloids for her, in my opinion, Sunshine Sachs or Meghan herself. It keeps the blame on tabloids and gives her a reason to clap back. Now, what's significant, of course, is that this more aggressive approach has been taken the moment that Meghan Markle has re-signed with Sunshine Sachs, the famous Dirty Tricks PR agency. So here's a reminder of some of what Angela Levin revealed and that so upset Meghan Markle.
Very easygoing woman. She likes to see her friends, she likes to do yoga, and she's very easygoing. Well, Meghan got fed up with this because she wants her to do exactly what she wants when she tells her. And I think she got fed up with it. I mean, she was very, very helpful, sometimes there for 3 months, but she got fed up there because she felt that they were using her too much, going out, getting her to cook, go and buy the shopping. I mean, she's not a very young woman anymore. And although she would want to help, doing all that plus looking after 2 children is a lot of work. And Meghan doesn't want to do all the dog's body work, and she got cross with her mother because she wasn't there all the time when she wanted her. You see, she can't actually make a good relationship with anyone because she has to have it her way. It must be. And she gets very fed up if people don't immediately do what she wants. That's why she's had so many aides who leave. That's why, Harry's fed up. She just is a woman who thinks that she's the only person who can make decisions.
So, Angela Levin, you have been the first to reveal many months ago now the graph between Meghan Markle and Doria Ragland. Within hours of that video going live, we got this. We got this. There she is. Doria pictured in the pool with Lily. And then, of course, we got the dance and we got lots of other pictures of the children and images of the children, because that's what Meghan does when there's a headline out there that she doesn't like. But I guess the first question to ask, Angela, is do you stand by your reporting even though Doria happens to be in that pool?
Absolutely. I think I was being quite nice, really. I mean, she's been very, very difficult to deal with, as Meghan. And her mother's tried very hard to help her. She was always there when she was difficulties. She's come to help her with the cooking and all these things. But I think she got fed up when she had to do a very long, several months. And she actually does like to see her friends and get on with her own life as well. I mean, we didn't mention that Meghan calls her a free spirit, which some people find is quite unpleasant because she's not fixing everything into a certain time with certain dusters and everything like that. You know, she's very easygoing with what she does, and she feels that she's had enough of it. She was there for the wedding very nicely, but she was there on her own. Meghan didn't get her a friend to sit next to her, and it was the king. Not he wasn't the king then, Prince Charles. She didn't know what to do at the end of it. She was looking forward, and she did look, for the first time I've seen, very, very disturbed. And he went up to her, and he had Camilla on one arm, her on the other arm, and she took them all down the stairs and out and spoke to her very nicely. What a charmer, I thought. Meghan's responsibility to have one of her friends sitting next to her. There was no other member of the family that she'd known, that Meghan had known. Not everyone was awful. And so she just didn't bother. So you can see from that how she behaves. I think it's very moving for a mother when their child gets married, you know, and this one was absolutely blinding. There we are, there's the picture, because, you know, there's your daughter, and she's going to be, you know, a princess. And I thought that it was very unkind, and I think that unkind slip has gone the way through. And Meghan did actually feel that she's got to stay in when they want to go out. She has to pop along and get some food. She has to cook it. She has to look after the children. Two small children can be extremely exhausting. And I think when Meghan probably lost her temper or said something that she didn't like, that was the end of it. And she was going home and not coming back.
Yeah, because Doria Ragland's 69 years old, and the suggestion she was spending much more time at the house than what she is now. But the fact that Meghan puts out one image or one video, I mean, lots of people are questioning, Angela, whether that was even a new video. A lot of people saying, actually, on Sunday, it wasn't warm enough in Montecito for them to be in the pool. We don't know that. We can't prove that. But certainly that is one of the tactics that Ms. Markle uses to put out old social media videos when it suits her, right?
Yeah. But that doesn't make any difference to what I think. And to actually to get someone quick, hurry up, get in the water, you know, make sure that everyone thinks you're having a lovely time and this is what you do every Sunday. You know, I don't believe in that. I see things, I talk to people, I watch them very carefully. And as you know, I like to sort of work them out and make up my mind what's going on. And I felt very sorry for her because it was very hard. She was extremely good in a whole different world for her. And she was there to help Meghan a lot. And this is what Meghan does. People help her a lot, whenever it is. And then she just gets fed up with them.
And also, Angela, this is now going to be much more part of the strategy now that Sunshine Sachs are formally back. Here's the confirmation of that from the Telegraph newspaper. Meghan rehires Hollywood crisis comms firm after a string of advisors walk out. And the key woman who has the relationship with Meghan is Keely Thomas Morgan. And the thing about Sunshine Sachs, Angela, is they're known for the dark arts of PR, aren't they? So we're going to see stunt after stunt after stunt. Meghan hoped she was going to be able to wash her hands of these people, but the problem is no PR wanted to keep working for her in-house. So we are going to see lots more stunts going forward, lots more dancing videos, lots more aggression, because that's what Sunshine Sachs do.
Dan and Angela Levin are responding tonight after Meghan Markle appears to clap back at reporting surrounding her reportedly strained relationship with her mother, Doria Ragland. What was once presented as an unbreakable bond is now under renewed scrutiny, following a series of public signals, strategic leaks, and carefully timed responses that many believe are designed to shut down uncomfortable questions rather than answer them. Angela Levin joins me to break down what this reaction really tells us about Meghan's sensitivity to criticism, her ongoing battle with the media narrative, and why this particular story seems to have struck a nerve. Is this about correcting the record or controlling it? And why now? We'll examine the language used, the timing of the response, and what royal watchers believe is happening behind the scenes. Because when pushback comes this fast, it usually means the story landed closer to home than expected. Now, if you want independent analysis you won't get from the mainstream media, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this was a justified response, or a clear sign of damage control?
Well, what I feel and what I'm worried about, whether she will use them, very strong people, and that she would try and beat Catherine and William, which is why they've got someone in who is quite a strong person. But that's my worry. They will go somewhere first. They will find out what they can take over. I think it's going to be the most upsetting and horrible race to deal with it. And I think that Catherine and William will certainly work hard to handle it. But, I mean, they've got a lot to do. And I think that the pair of them can be so nasty that it's going to be very, very difficult. That's my view.
Yeah, very much. And Angela, we should just remind everyone, of course, that there's total hypocrisy in terms of Meghan Markle's new PR stunts. I mean, as according to Taz said, you have to admit it's pretty impressive hypocrisy to talk about how you escaped royal life for privacy, didn't want to be on the Truman Show, your children in a fishbowl, yet we see more personal and intimate moments on her Instagram feed than we ever see of royals. And of course, Angela, to me, it was very telling that the moment all of these new picture drops happened, the moment that we saw video of Archie and an animal, for example, was the moment Harry left the country.
Yeah, she always does something that he lets the country and he leaves the country, doesn't she? Because say she wants to prove that she's being a great mother while he's away and that everything's fine. Secondly, she wants to do some of the things that he probably would actually say, please don't do that. So she just does it because he's not there. Take advantage of his absence.
And of course, Angela, even though you were the first to report it, the reason that we'd actually made the video last week is because Radar Online had gone public with lots more detail about what was going on between Doria Ragland and Meghan Markle. Some of it is worth repeating because it was this use of the term free spirit, as you pointed out, and a source close to the Sussexes said the wording was deliberate. With an insider adding, on the face of it, it sounded warm, but among those who know them, it came across as a quiet step back, signaling that Meghan and Doria have very different ideas about parenting and family. Another added it came across less as praise and more as a subtle point of difference. They also said that the living arrangement between Doria and Meghan has now ended for good, with another source saying Doria was once a regular fixture in the household, closely involved in caring for the children with Meghan and Harry, but she is no longer living there, and people around them have taken note. A television insider even said that it was totally planned, the fact that they'd used this line against Doria. One television insider said everyone involved knew that each personal remark would be scrutinised, and the language around Meghan's mother drew notice for setting Meghan up as a deliberate, highly organised parent in contrast to a more free-spirited Doria. So, look, all of this, I think, is very clear. We know exactly what she was doing. It was choreographed. She doesn't like the truth. And it's also pretty grim. It's pretty grim, Meghan, to be using your mother, who has made it clear that she doesn't want to be used, that she doesn't want to be part of this constant bid for attention, as a social media pawn. But no wonder, Angela, the latest YouGov figures show that Meghan has actually remained, in the UK at least, the least popular member, with her popularity dipping to its lowest level ever. Angela, so the whole idea that this can be turned around seems to be for the birds. because actually it's getting worse.
It is. Let me just say one more thing that I feel does make it the worst. That now those two children don't have any family around them at all. They had their grandma, so they could be close to her, but there's no one. There's no uncle, there's no anybody there. She doesn't see any family on either side or on Harry's sides, and that upsets me terribly because I think small children need family, and I think that to not let them have anything, all your friends are not there for you all the time. A parent and a grandparent is always there for you. Well, I don't mean, somebody who's just been talking to all the newspapers at the moment, but I think that, children do need a family, and it's tragic that they're not allowed to do that.
More bad news for Meghan Markle this week, Angela, but what I would say is that the mainstream media need to keep up, because here you were revealing the information about Doria before anyone else. And of course, I was the first person to reveal long ago, many weeks ago, many months ago, that there will be no season 3 of With Love Meghan, her flop Netflix series. But the mainstream media finally going with this story, which I broke weeks ago. It was the New York Post, and they quoted sources. They do have some interesting detail, though, Angela, about the fact that Meghan just refuses to accept that it's a dead duck and is now pitching new specials for Valentine's Day and for Thanksgiving. So let me just take you through it. Sarah Nathan, the editor-at-large of the New York Post, wrote, Meghan Markle's heavily promoted lifestyle show With Love Meghan won't be returning to Netflix, multiple sources told Page Six, after the Duchess called the show a lot of work. It's not returning as a series. There have been conversations about holiday specials, but there's nothing in the works yet, said one insider. Sources say that Markle will instead concentrate on building her lifestyle brand as ever. People will see similar cooking and crafting on Meghan's socials for the brand, but more bite-sized, one said. Meghan has now pitched several holiday specials, including July the 4th and Valentine's Day, and a source said the hope is to make them. Well, clearly they've rejected her for Valentine's Day, Angela, because, that's just a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks away. So she's not going to be able to turn that around in time.